Hi guys, welcome back to the Player YouTube channel, and today you join me on a beautiful sunny afternoon here in gorgeous England, the UK, believe it or not. Yes, I know, don't look so surprised it's not raining. It does make a huge change. I mean, even in a t-shirt, I've had to put the aircon on. There you go. So if you haven't already gathered, I'm driving the new Seat Arona. Now, I was quite keen to get hold of this car because as a small family SUV, this apparently ticks a lot of my boxes. So really what we need to do is get around it. We need to have a look under the bonnet and check out the different engine configurations and gearbox configurations. We need to have a look in the boot to see how much space this car actually has. And above all, we need to check out that it's comfortable for the passengers and whether it's functional for the driver. So without further ado, let's do that. And then when we finish up, we'll give you our honest evaluation and decide whether you should head down to your local Seat showroom and have a test drive. Some really nice lines on the Seat Arona. I really like it, and I love this colour as well. And in the sunlight, you can see the metallic paint. It's just like little speckles. It's really, it's just nicely done. Reasonable lights on this, they're not bad, and reasonable sized wheels as well. And I do like the actual rims themselves, the alloys, 17-inch wheels on this particular car. Grille's okay, the whole car is sort of quite compact, but I do love the shape of it. Let's have a look under the bonnet. Now the bonnet release here in the UK is just down here in the passenger side, just to the left. Obviously, if you're overseas, it'll be on the driver's side because they're not going to move the bonnet release from one side to another. One thing they will not be moving, definitely, is the centre catch there. Now, this is quite a heavy bonnet, I must admit. Not that I'm struggling, but I was quite shocked at that. It's quite a solid bit of metal. Couple of different engine choices. So you've got a 1 litre, 3-cylinder 1 litre, and it can either be around about 100 brake horsepower, or you can have it slightly more, which will take you up to about 115 brake horsepower. If you do want the bigger engine size, not that I think you need it because this one is more than adequate, trust me, but you can go up to a 1.5 litre and it's just shy of 150 brake. I think this one would be absolutely fine. Looking at the car, well, it's a good looking little car, but what's it like round the back? Let's go and have a look. Right, before we get inside and round the back, I just wanted to point out a couple of the little bits and pieces I've noticed on this car. First of all, the lines on this car, really nice. It's been really well designed, but I also like the plastic bits that run around here, around the arch. They just sort of set it off a little bit from the, if you just had the bodywork, I think it wouldn't be as nice. Makes it a little bit more chunky, as we say here in the UK. And also up the top here, you get these nice silver roof rails and this sort of silver line that's run up here with the, it's like an insignia on there. It just makes the whole thing look a little bit more chunky at the back, more sort of rugged. That's the best way of describing it. Perhaps chunky is unfair. Round at the back here, well, again, you do get the nice lines across here and everything's very symmetrical. They might be fake, but there are two and they do look quite cool. I've got to admit, for a bit of plastic, they do look real. And then you get the Arona badge in the middle here. You've got the Seat badge up there. You've got this lovely rear windscreen, this rear screen. And the reason I say it's lovely is because it doesn't have any of those rubbers that run around there. You know, the one that's used to catch the water, hold it in there, and then years later you had all the rust appearing down. You're not going to have that. This is what they call a floating screen. So it actually sits on the rubber itself. There's no way of water getting in there. But it also gives a real pin-sharp line around there. And it's sort of, the design element captures is really held in that. I like that. You've got your traditional DAB aerial up the top there. You've got a bit of aero going on here with a brake light underneath. And again, you've got a wash wipe. That aero here will also pull all the water over it, keeps this as clean as it possibly can without you having to use the wash wipe there. Okay, let's open her up and have a little look inside. It's not electronically assisted, but you weren't expecting that, were you? A couple of decent gas struts on here. Now, let's start. Parcel shelf, it's parcel shelf time. Now, if you've watched me before, 9 out of 10 of these get thrown away. This one, however, I've got to show you guys, I'm impressed. And also, you have to give it a little bit of force, in the words of Luke Skywalker. These normally get thrown away because they are completely useless. Normally, I keep saying normally, watch this, check it out. You can actually put your little boot flooring up like that. It sits there. You can then physically put your parcel shelf in here like that. How easy was that? And then put said flooring back down again. Look at that. That's how all parcel shelves should be, if you're going to have one. I mean, ultimately, I'd say don't have a parcel shelf. No need for one here. You know, back in the day, whatever. There you go. Other manufacturers, if you're watching, take a leaf out of SEAT's book. That's how you do it. Simple, isn't it? In the back here, it's mahoosive. First up, you will notice there's no massive drop here. So if you're going to be loading anything, the only thing is it's a bit plasticky and it's going to get a bit scratched up. So I think maybe in the long term, it might be nice to replace this with maybe some stainless steel or a cover, put something over it there. A couple of shopping bag holders, one either side, one over there and one over here. The other good thing about this, which I really like, you can just reach in like this and you just clip the seat to the right there. It's a 60-40 split. Look at the size of the actual interior of this. I'm going to show you, because a lot of other reviewers, they get all sorts of fangled things out. They get like suitcases and boxes, and I think the best way of describing something is to actually mind your head when you do this, because it's quite shallow there. But if I climb into the car itself, you'll get a good idea of how much space is in this car. I mean, check that out. I don't think you could go away camping for the weekend, but you know, that gives you a good idea of how big the space is in here. I think it's immense, to be honest, for a small compact SUV. I'm going to climb back out because I want to show you something else as well. Because this car just ticks every single box. It is just phenomenal for the money. So we're going to put that back up again. I'm going to take the parcel shelf out and remove it. I'm just going to put it out the way to one side over here. Now, punchers. Let's talk punchers before we go any further. So most of the time you either have to buy very expensive run flat tyres, or you get given those puncher repair kits. Have you seen them? You've probably got one in your car and you haven't even noticed. In the back is like a pot of latex, which stinks when you open it, trust me. The idea is you remove the valve on your tyre, you then pour this stuff in by use of it's like a pipe, and it connects, and then you squeeze it in. This is when you've got a flat tyre, by the way. And then you wait for that to go off. So you spin it around a couple of times, move the car backwards and forwards just to make it sort of, you know, aerate around your tyre. You then get given a little pump, bearing in mind all this costs money. And that little pump, you then connect it in and you try and pump your tyre up. Now, if you've had the mishap of hitting that wheel on a curb or catching it somewhere and that tyre isn't connecting properly, it's just gonna, well, latex goes everywhere. You get covered in latex, trust me, it happens. I'm talking from experience here, guys. And at the same time, it's never going to pump up. So what you really need is a spare wheel. SEAT, you've done it again. I can't believe it. Look at this. Watch this, guys. This car has a spare wheel. Now this, as they say in the trade, is one I prepared earlier because it does come with a clamp. But to save time and to save a lot of effort, I'm going to take this out and show you. It's a steel one. It's rather heavy, but I'm not complaining. It'll do up to 50 miles an hour, as you can see on there. You also get a jack to jack the car up with. You get a little toolkit in here. Now this is the good old way. You know, if your wheel is damaged, this is what you want. And it's going to get you home. It's going to get you to a garage, and you can still do 50 miles an hour. You're not going to do that with a puncher repair kit. Other manufacturers, yet again, if you're watching this is the way forward. This is the way it should be. Stick one of them in there. Save your money on the rest of it. Do away with those stupid things in the glove box. You know, the owner's manuals? Do away with them. You can afford one of these. It really is a good little car, this, isn't it? However, is it good for the passengers? Let's go check it out. Let's check it out in the back for the passengers. And getting in and out is nice and easy. There's a reasonable amount of legroom. And that's pretty much it. Because in the back here, there is nothing. It is very plain and simple. In one way I like it, in another way I think, well, maybe, you know, you could do with a couple of little, like an armrest with some cup holders, but do we really need all that? And that's what's keeping the price down in this car, because those little bits and pieces aren't in here. There isn't even a courtesy light. Perhaps the Spanish eat a lot of carrots so they can see in the dark. That's why they don't need lights in here. There's no independent heating controls. There's no USB, you know, plug-ins for the kids in the back. Again, maybe Spanish kids like to read, but there again, there's no place to put their books because those map things, they're not here either. But the one good thing I can report is they've recessed the seat belts. So if you're sliding across on those windy roads around the mountains, you're not going to get caught up in your jeans or your skirt. Couple of isofix points either side. Again though, a little comment I'll make here, these are the zipper ones. And I can see those zips getting broken and torn eventually. Not over keen on this material either. Anyway, that's another story. Central tunnel here is not that high, but it's still there, very noticeable. And I don't think you'd definitely get 3 people across here. It's going to be perhaps 3 little kids. But it's not really made for 3 people, it's more for 2 people. So there you have it, guys. Seat headrests, yes, we have headrests. And they pop up and down and work quite nicely as well. I like the styling. I actually like the insignia on here. I think it's quite nice. I'm waffling a little bit here. We need to have a look up front for the driver because this is probably the fastest passenger review I have ever done. Let's check it out, what it's like for the driver up front. Well, straight away, as soon as you sit down, you will notice that the seats are really, really comfortable. I wasn't expecting that. They're well bolstered and a really nice driving position. Don't expect electronic seats in this, especially on the entry level. This is a mechanical seat, but it has bags and bags of adjustment, which is nice. You can get it in just the right place. Likewise, the steering wheel. So adjusting it manually like that is tons and tons of room, you know, maneuverability on this. Again, it's been well thought out. Somebody who actually likes driving a car has designed this, and that's what I think I'm getting the distinct impression. That's what it's all about. Lighting controls over here on the right. You've got an auto setting on here, and there's your fog lights over there as well. Nice big dial there, very simple to use. You've got your wiper stalk on the right, and then over here on the left, you have a cruise control. And that is very easy to use. On the outside there, you've got the speed control up and down. On the top is resume and cancel, simple as. Also, that's your high beam on and off as well. Steering wheel wise, well, first of all, I do love the shape of this steering wheel. It's really, really nice. Got a little FR badge down the bottom there as well. SEAT badge in the middle and a little hooter in the middle. It's quite a nice little horn, that. I like that. On the right hand side, you've got your media buttons. Not your media buttons, your well, on the centre of the digital instrument cluster there, that's the only digital part in the centre. You can scroll between the different settings over there. Before we do that, unfortunately, it's a key start on this. It's not keyless, but again, that's saving money. And that's what this car's all about. I'm beginning to realise that as well. We'll just turn it into the on position, so we haven't got to actually start the engine and make loads of noise. So in the centre there is your digital, and then to your right either side is your analog speedo, and on the left is your tachymeter or your rev meter, whichever you prefer to call it. So we're fired up now. You can literally move from left to right with the doors shut, and that's your top button there. Then you've got to scroll up and down. So once you've selected what you want in the centre there, you can then scroll up and down, and that's your view, which nice and simple, isn't it? On the left hand side here, that is your media scroll left and right. So that will move left and right over there, and you'll see it goes across when I start manoeuvring it. It's coming back now. There you go, back to Radio 1 or whatever. And there's your volume control on the left, and there's your Ask SEAT button. Same as Ask Alexa or Ask Siri. Just push that button and say, I want Radio 2, and hopefully it'll do it for you. It might speak to you in Spanish as well. Hello. Hello, my friend, how are you? Right, in the centre here, handbrake with a little bit more nice red stitching. Love that, check it out. Now, as it's an auto, you don't always need to apply that because once it's in the auto, it goes into park, so you're quite safe. But we'll pull it up anyway. Double cup holder and a 12-volt adapter, which is rather handy. A couple of places to put knicky-knacks, bits and pieces. One good thing about this car, you've got a place to wirelessly charge your Apple device right in there. It just slips down in there. If you haven't got one of those, this is a USB-C adapter, which comes with the car. There are 2 USB-Cs here. Down to the left-hand side here, you've got the mode, and the mode button actually comes up on the screen there, and will give you 4 different choices in your modes. You've got Eco, Normal, Sport and Individual, which is great. Then you've got the auto stall button on the left there. You can turn that on and off as well. And then you've got your lock button for the doors. So if you want that on or off, if you actually want to let people sit inside the car with you. The screen is really nice. I love the screen. It's very colourful, a little bit VW, if you get my drift. But we like that, and it's very nice and easy to, and volume control over there. To the right here again is another media scroll button, same as the one you've got up here. Down the bottom here, you've got your, well, air conditioning, of course. And where I was getting a little bit misled there is, we've got knobs. That's what I was about to say. We've got some nice knobs. You know I love knobs. No, I'm not losing it, guys. Let me explain. Gloves on, freezing cold, get in the car, need to turn. You don't want to be, you know, piddling about with this thing, trying to find where the heating section is on your TFT. Take your gloves off, you have to touch everything. What you do want to do is keep your gloves on and go, oh, let's turn the heating up. That's lovely. There you go, easy. And the same with those little knobs up there. You can turn them up and down. They're probably Spanish knobs because they're smaller than the bigger ones down there. Glove box. Let's have a look at the glove box. And there's bound to be a user's manual in here. Yep. Oh, guys. No user manual. And you know why? It's because the money has been spent wisely on a space saver wheel. And also that means it doesn't take up the space in the glove box. So you can fill it up with all the rubbish that you normally put in your glove box. And you can put extra rubbish in your glove box now. Just don't get a user manual with it. SEAT. Oh, that's number 10 you've just ticked in my all-time top 10. There you go. I like all the little bits. Nice bit of stitching. Lovely detailing on the seats. Very comfortable. Good driving position. However, let's get it out on the road, because I think with these little flappy paddles, and they are tiny, we can go into manual on this and have some fun in this little 1 litre car. I'm looking forward to it. Let's go do it. So here we are, guys. We're out on the road in the Seat Arona. And the first thing I noticed when I jumped in this car and we started it up was how quiet that engine is. And I think a lot of that is down to the actual build quality of this car, because it's very tight. And if you know what I mean when I mean tight, it's like everything shuts and closes very, very similar to a Volkswagen, of course. You've got a massive sort of almost panoramic windscreen here. It's huge. Really good visibility out the back as well. I was quite surprised with that because I didn't think that small screen at the back was going to give me that amount of visibility. This particular model comes with parking sensors. So it's got front and rear parking sensors, which is really, doesn't come with a camera. But nevertheless, it still does that beep, 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 you know the thing, which is really good. It doesn't come with blind spot mirrors. You've got to jump up quite a few different trim levels to get that. But what it does come with are a couple of other safety aids. So you've got autonomous braking in town, and you also get the cruise control and the speed limiter as well. A couple of other nice things on the entry level. You do get the metallic paint, and you get that wireless Apple phone charger in this car, which is, I think, really, really nice indeed. SE is your entry level. There are 7 different trim levels. SE is the entry. It's a little over, just a shade over 18,000 UK pounds, which puts this car in a really good position when it comes to the competition. Value for money wise, I think even on the entry level, this car is packing it. It really is packing it. It's got a really good gearbox on it, very responsive engine. There's no turbo lag on it whatsoever. It just kicks off when it wants to. You've got those 4 different modes on this car as well. Very easy to use when you're driving along. Mode button's just down there, as I mentioned earlier. So you push the mode button, up it pops, and then you just scroll across by pushing the button once, twice, 3, 4 times. You've got the Eco, you've got the normal, you've got the Sport mode and the individual. I do notice a little bit of difference in the Sport, not really between the normal and the Eco. So the Sport just picks up the revs a little bit more. No difference in the steering, but it does, you know, well, not really going to sound that much better anyway. Warranty-wise, this car comes with a 3-year, 60,000 mile warranty, which again is pretty good for a car of this value. I cannot see how you can go wrong. Comfortability, there, love that word. I made up that word, comfortability. Try and say that when you've had a few sandwiches. These seats, I like them, they're comfortable. Not keen on the fabric. It does seem to be a little bit clingy. And when I mean clingy, I can imagine if you've got a couple of kids in the back, because obviously the seats in the whole car's made of the same fabric. One spillage, I don't think you're going to be able to draw it out of here, and it's really going to show, like an ice cream or sweets or something like that. It's just the wrong sort of fabric for a car, in my humble opinion. Driving the car, well, I mean, the steering's super light, brakes are super efficient, and that gearbox, really like that gearbox. It's really nice and smooth. And would you believe you can, there you go, put it into manual and use paddles And look at that, it will give you a little bit of go, a bit of fun for you there, guys, when you've not got kids in the car or granny's been dropped off, or if you just simply fancy going out and have a little blap round at the country lanes, because the suspension on this car is also really good indeed. I can't really fault it economy wise, but I could fault it there because I think it could do a little bit better. Currently getting 37.2 around town. Oh, we're still in manual mode as it screams away up there because I didn't change gear. 37.2, I think around town it's not bad, not bad. It could do a little bit better, but out on a run, haven't really had a chance to give it a run. This is the long-term fuel economy that I'm giving. Don't forget these fuel economy figures. This is a press car. It goes out a lot of different drivers. If it was your car, it'd be driven the way you drive it, and it'd probably be a lot more economical than the way us journalists drive these cars, I assure you, when we're absolutely hammering around and slapping them into sport mode. And, you know, I doubt very much you're going to be doing that on a day-to-day basis. So all in, I reckon, out on a run, you're going to be up well into what Seat say between 44 and 48 to the gallon, which isn't bad at all, guys. Not for, you know, for this sort of small budget SUV. Is exactly what it is, and it does exactly what it says on the tin. I've thoroughly enjoyed reviewing this car. My opinion is get down to your Seat showroom, give one a road test, spend a little bit extra time asking your salesman on those 7 different trim levels, because there's not a lot of difference in the price between the 18,000 entry level car, the SE, and the top of the range, which goes for around about 25,000 UK pounds. It's not a massive difference, so you might find, you know, it would be better just going for that entry level and adding a few bits and pieces off your own back. That's my honest opinion. You've been watching me, AJ the Player. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this review on the Seat Arona. I thoroughly enjoyed driving this car for the last week. It's been a lot of fun. It's been a very valuable tribute to our family daily way of life, I must admit. So if you have enjoyed the video, like, subscribe and comment. And if you need to know anything, leave a question in the comment box and one of us will get back to you, that's for sure. So if you've got anything you want to know, or if you've got anything you want to add to this review, then please do so at the bottom, you know where, in the comment box. If you do subscribe, don't forget, leave the bell sign unchecked, because that will give you regular updates. As you know, we are not a one-trick pony at The Player. We are part of a much bigger organisation. So we're not just a YouTube channel. So before you sign off and don't watch the rest of this, this is where you could get something for nothing, completely free of charge. It's called The Player Bookazine. Yes. Now, I can't give you the actual book. The Bookazine is, by the way, is a magazine that comes out on the frequency of, no, it's the other way round. We'll get that right. It's a book that comes out on the frequency of a magazine. There you go, I knew I'd get it right at the end. It's called The Player. There's 220 pages of what us guys absolutely love. There's cars, there's boats, there's interviews, there's food, there's golf, there's holidays. I could keep going on and on and on. It's up to you to go and have a look at it. You get the online version completely free of charge because you watch me on AJ the Player YouTube channel. So if you go to, here it's coming up now, www.theplayer.co.uk. I'll leave it up there for a few seconds so you can memorize it. Very easy. No data capture. Guys, come on, look at me. Do I look like a data capture person? All I need is a name and an email address, and then you can download that, or you can actually view it online. You know, you can use your finger or your mouse or whatever to turn the pages, and there's loads and loads of bags of stuff on there. It's really good stuff. I love reading it myself, and I'm a part of it, so there you go. So as I say, that's free. Just sign up for it. You know where to go. Go and help yourself. It's a really good, fun thing to do as well. Ladies, if you're watching, you are absolutely entirely welcome to go and have a look and do likewise what the men do. The only thing is, all the content is very much geared towards a male lifestyle. Totally up to you. See what us guys love. Know what to buy us for our birthdays then. Aha! There you go. Knew there was method behind my madness, guys. Trust me. Thanks for watching, guys. Take it easy out there. Be careful. It's a strange old world we live in at the moment. And I'll catch you next week with something different, maybe, or another car or an interview. Who knows? Even I don't know. I'll find out next week, and so will you. Cheers, guys. Thanks for watching. Catch you later. Yes.
I am very ready. Ready when you are. Are you ready, my friend? Let's ride. Okay. Hello, everybody. Welcome to my finker here in deepest, darkest UK, England, not España, unfortunately. Today we are going to take a look at my favorite car of the moment. This is the Seat Arona. Seat Arona. You say it like that, it sounds more like paella, like a Arona. You have to get the tongue rolling, you know. So this, very appropriate today because we are here in my favorite place, as I say, with the horses. And the horses are under the bonnet here. Let's check out under the bonnet. The bonnet releaser is in here where the passenger sit. It's a UK car, so normally this is where the master sit, the man who drives the car. And under there, very easy. Now, to lift the bonnet, you just put your hand under here, you have to feel and you lift. You have to be strong, you have to be mucho musculo, you know? That's what my friends said to me. They say, hey, Juandango, you always have the musculo. You know exactly how to open the bonnet. I know how to ride the horses too, if you get my drift. This is a 1 liter engine. It developed around about 110 horses. That's more than I have here. But you can also get it with 115 horses. It's a very nice little engine. But if you want more horses, you have to go up a little bit. You know, you have to go to 1.5 liter. 1.5 liter would give you 150 horses under here. That's a very good. It's a front wheel drive and it goes like horse dung, you know, like the cuckoo, the papa, caca, what you call it, the poo-poo, yeah? Go like caca off the back of the shovel. Let's go around, check the rest of the car. And then we go ride horses into the sunset. And eat paella. I love it here.